Okay. Off your camera. You can off your camera. Um, okay. Hello. Good evening. Wait, sorry. I need to confirm something first. All right. Now I think we are starting now. Okay. So hello. Good day. My name is Yakin Nasir. Welcome to Texas Global Weekly, or should I say, to every and welcome to Texas Global Sunday session, which usually happens every 2 weeks. So here with me today, I have a UIUX designer professional, okay, by the name Mr. Samuel Uche, who is also a YouTuber by and the name of his channel is Sam Studio. So we can all check that online after the session. So Mr. Samuel can now come in at this point moment. Mr. Samuel, welcome to the stage.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Akin. I don't know if you can see me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I
All
can
right,
hear you.
thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity and the privilege to be here. You get so as Mr. Akin has rightly said, my name is
Okay, so it appears there is a connection there. Well, Mr. Samuel will be coming back to the stage now.
in the call.
Mr. Samuel, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Welcome back.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can.
All right, thank you so much. So, all right. So I was actually saying, thanking TechVest Global for the opportunity to be here. And as Mr. Ekin has rightly said, my name is Samuel Uche, and I'm a UI/UX designer. And today I'll be talking about a beginner's roadmap to becoming a UI/UX designer in 2026. So I want before I proceed, yet I want to wish everyone a happy new year.
Happy New Year.
And we are currently in 20, so just give me a minute. Guys, the connection is disturbing me. Give me a minute.
Okay, we can. I
Give
think
me a
it's smooth
minute.
like this.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can see you. We can see you.
Okay, okay, okay. So I'll be talking about a beginner's roadmap um, to getting into. Can you see me now?
Yes, we can, but the
Hello, Mr.
connection
Ekin,
is
can you
not
see
that.
me?
Yeah, the connection is not that smooth, so you are breaking. Okay, it's okay
Okay,
currently. It's not breaking.
okay. All right. So I'll be talking about a beginner's roadmap to becoming a UI/UX designer in 2026. So UI/UX design is a very, very broad field right now in tech. And if you look into and now we all know that UI/UX design is just it's not just about design alone, but rather is more of a strategy. Now, the one way that a beginner can actually break into UI/UX design, even in 2026, is by understanding the fundamental concepts of UI/UX design. So, in this class, I'll be giving you a roadmap that will guide you so that you can fully understand what UI/UX is all about. So, you have to first of all understand that UI/UX is beyond just sketching screens and then using colors and layouts. And then UI/UX is not just about you having being aesthetic or be able to draw beautiful screens, just like I said, but it's more of having the ability to solve problem with your design. So about you creating experiences that makes human life better. So that is the major reason of UI/UX design. So you need to also understand that UI/UX design is one of the fast growing tech careers right now. And anyone that wants to go into UI/UX design in 2026 can be exposed to a vast opportunity, even the tech industry, because any tech sphere, this a startup or a company will definitely need a UI/UX designer in whatever they are doing. And now that we have the emergence of AI and AI automation, every UI/UX designer should not be scared of AI, because even when we heard that AI can quickly make UI designs, AI can do this, AI can do that, that many designers will definitely lose their job. But you need to change that narrative and understand that AI doesn't replace designers. It doesn't replace you as a designer. Rather, the people that AI will definitely replace are people that can use AI. Like the people that will lose their job, like during as AI is emerging, are people that don't know how to use AI to work faster. So as a UI/UX designer or someone that is interested in becoming a UI/UX designer, whether you have design knowledge or design background, you get, so you should not be scared of using AI to work. You should always learn to explore and exploit AI in order to enhance your speed and knowledge as a UI/UX designer. So another advantage of learning UI/UX design right now, before I go deep down into giving you the roadmap of becoming a UI/UX designer in 2026, I need to make you understand the pros and cons of becoming a UI/UX designer. Another advantage, just like I said, is the boom of companies. Now we have startups and we have teams that are coming together to make mobile apps. We have people that have come together with e-commerce ideas. We have SaaS companies. We have the fintech. We have the edtech people that are making educational platform.
Mr. Samuel. All right. It appears the connection is not that flowing well from Mr. Samuel's side. Okay, Mr. Samuel is not available right now, but we are hoping he comes back as soon as possible. In the meantime, based on what Mr. Samuel is actually talking about is the UI UX designers. Um, the explanation he was given is that a UI UX designer is a person that creates some kind of like blueprint, okay, for developers to work, such in a way that when there is an application to work on, let's assume a student management system application. Okay, developers are not really men. We are not supposed to be team because our job is just to code it out. Okay, so we are not really meant to be thinking about design, even when it comes to the web developer, web front end developer, back end developer. Web designers, yeah, they might actually think even mostly other front end developers also. But it's not really our job to think about design how we want to beautify. It's actually the UI UX developer's job. It's just more like whenever you want to build a house and before you can build the house, you need to create the blueprint of the house. Now, before you can actually create the blueprint of the house, you need a person that can work on the blueprint for you before you can actually now build the house. So the blueprint that is being in creation is actually the work of the UI
Sorry,
UX.
I guess it was the connection. It was the
It's that
connection. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
it's
I'm
really
back now. Can you hear me, Mr. Ikin?
we
Okay,
can
all
flow
right.
now. We can
So
go back. Yeah,
I was saying that in this present age, like UX gives a lot of opportunity for people that wants to get into it. Get whether you have a design background or not. And the good thing is that anyone can learn it. Anyone can break into it. For instance, if someone that is looking for a skill to learn in 2026, aside the vast tech stacks and skills that are out there, you can decide to venture into your UX design without fear. You get because another opportunity you can get as a UX designer is all these remote jobs. You get you can work for companies globally from where you are if you fully understand the concept of UX design. Now you need to understand that UX design is not just about, just like I said, it's not just about making aesthetic screens. It's not just about using colors or knowing how to use UI/UX design tools. It's more of a business strategy. It's more of your ability to solve problem. And at most people learn UI/UX design, but still they don't use it professionally. They just learn how to think and solve problem as a designer. So these are the pros of UI/UX design. You get. Now I'm going to venture into the roadmap for any beginner that wants to learn UX design in 2026. So there are about seven steps that any beginner can follow in order to begin his or her career in UI UX design. You get the first thing is that you need to first of all understand the foundation of UI UX design. No, I see many people that I've come across people, even students that want to learn a skill, probably graphic design or UI design. They go online. They go online. Go to YouTube and browse for different videos, and at the end, it's just like learning having cut. They call it part and cut and join knowledge, that kind of thing. So you see that those people, they are not actually fully baked and not fully knowledgeable about the skill that they are learning. So most of the times after watching those videos and doing all those research, they don't feel satisfied that they have actually learned something. So if you tell them to show you their work, most of them don't feel proud of their work. You get that's because they didn't follow any roadmap, they didn't follow any system, any curriculum that will guide them. So as a beginner, the first thing you need to understand is to understand the foundation of UI UX design. So what's the foundation? The first foundation is you need to understand what UI UX design is. You need to also understand what UX. We have UI UX, we have UI, and we have UX. So you need to understand what they actually mean, what UI mean, and you need to understand what UX design mean. You also need to understand the difference between UI and UX. You need to understand the core principles binding UI UX. Now, for the sake of people that don't have design background or they may not know the definitions of this term, I'm going to define them in this class. even in this meeting. Now, I'll give you the definition of what UI actually mean. Now, UI actually mean it's an abbreviation. UI means user interface. So now the question is, what is UI design? UI design, it encompasses layout, colors, typography, and visual hierarchy. Don't worry, if you don't know the meaning of some of these things, you can probably, when you're doing your research or when you start learning UI UX design, you'll be hearing most of these terms, visual hierarchy, typography, color, and all those. All these things are under UI design. So UI is the visual design of the products. For instance, the buttons, the colors, the typography, the layout, and all interactive elements users see and touch. So that's UI. So you can see UI as the skin and clothing of a product, that it makes the product visually appealing and easy to navigate. So all the apps the apps that are on your phone, for instance, WhatsApp, Facebook, Airbnb, whatsoever it is, the website you have, the parts that users interact with, you get, that is visual appealing and aesthetic, that part is the UI. So that is what UI actually is. So it's just like having a car. The parts when you look at a car or a product, a car, a phone, a fridge, refrigerator, for instance, or anything, the skin of the car or the skin of the laptop that attracts you to that product, the skin of the product attracts you to it. Probably you see a phone or a laptop and that is very, very beautiful and visual appealing. It is something, it is skin that will attract you to it. So that skin alone is the UI. So why UX? UX is an abbreviation. It means user experience. So what UX design encompasses research, wireframes, user flow, and testing. I always tell my students something that UX is not complete or effective when there's UI is not complete or effective when there's no proper UX. It is a good UX that add
Yes,
essence and
yes,
meaning, that adds essence and meaning to a good UI. Now, if, for instance, someone that is just going into UI UX design from a graphic design background, because graphics is more of UI. But if someone that understands branding can easily flow with UX. But if you just jump into UI and then just start making screens, using colors up and down, crafting layouts for websites and apps without fully understanding the why you are doing what you are doing, you have blockage, and you have you have blockage at the end. You have constraints, and at times there'll be frustrations, there'll be clashes. And when you go back to the drawing board, you realize that there's a mistake somewhere in the product. It's not make you to start afresh from the beginning. So UX is the skeleton of every UI. It's the skeleton of every UI. So UX is about how the user feels when interacting with a system. So it is how the user feels. It is skeleton. It is what makes the product to function. Now I say that I'm using this skin illustration. Imagine you see a car, the skin of the car, the outer part of the car attracts you to the car. Now just imagine that you come to the car and open the car and see that some of the inner part of the car is not complete, or probably is there, but
I think our connection is breaking. Okay, so we are still going to wait for Mr. Samuel to come back. Well, he was,
um,
I think,
can you hear me,
yeah,
Mr. Ike? Can you see me?
yeah, we can.
Sorry, is the connection. As I
Yeah,
was saying,
okay,
like I was explaining UX using the skin of a car. Now, just imagine you
yeah,
go to the car and open it and you want to start the car, and the car fails to start, or probably it starts, but you're hearing noise, a sound in one part of the car, or the exhaust doesn't sound well. So it's not, you won't even, that alone can just make you withdraw, reframe yourself from the car and say, okay, no, this car is just beautiful. Just um because if some people say the more you look, the less you see. It gets just beautiful on the outside, but the functionality is not actually right. So that is what UX does. UX is the functionality of a product. Now you see that me as a user, if I enter the car and see that okay, this car is not functioning well, but it looks good outside, all right, feel like probably they're still working on it. I can't use my money to buy that car. You get. I go and test the car and find out the car has issue that the car seller has not told me about. So, but when test the car, I realize that this car has an issue somewhere. I can't buy the car. You get. So that's what UX does. What does UX does? UX come and make sure that the inner part of the car is okay. That there's no the functionality is working well. The functionality of the car is very very effective. So when user enter the car to test it, they won't have any frustration. They won't have any pain point. You are solving the pain point. You get. So that's how it is digitally. When you have a proper UX, when a user enters your platform, you have they call it you have less this thing. That is a word you have less you won't lose users easily. You get. So if
Mm,
not, you just be losing users. Users will come and drop off. Yes, they come and they drop off suddenly because there is something in the site on the site or the app that is not functioning well. So users feels that something is off. You get. So this UX is very very broad, and then it encompasses some certain things. For instance, it includes usability, it includes functionality, it includes information architecture, it includes user flow and satisfaction. You get. So this user experience is not just abstract. There are some things that you need to learn as a to go into UI UX. You get. So you need to now this I'm going to explain these things. For instance, usability is just how will the user use the product? That's the question. That is usability. And who are what's the the demograph of the users, the kind of users that are going to use the product. Is it users from the age of 0 to 16, or from 16 to 25, or from 25 to probably 40, or 40 to and above? So you need to understand who are your target audience. That is under usability. Now, if you create a product, if you want the product to be open and be able to be used by everybody, you ask yourself like, can a person of 40 years, can a person of 40 be able to use this product, or can a child, a young person around 12 to 14, can the person be able to navigate through this product? So if you can solve that problem, meaning that you have solved the problem issue of usability. And we have another one, functionality. That is the core function of the app. That is the why. That is the why of the product. Why do you create it? For instance, now we have Facebook. The problem Facebook is solving is the problem of social connection. So Facebook allows you to connect with people without you meeting them. So through Facebook, I can interact with you. I can send you a message. I can send you a picture. I can even call you. Same with the same problem the WhatsApp is solving, and Instagram connection. You get, and every app has a problem they are solving. For instance, we have Twitter. Twitter is acting as a social platform, and it's also acting as a means of dropping news feed. You get that? You know that now when you go, we have on Twitter. We make use of threads. When you go to Twitter, you see that people drop threads of I think things that are currently happening, current affairs. So that's why most people, whenever they want to get the latest news or what's happening right now, they just head onto Twitter. There's some kind of people they follow. So, but they may not get it on Facebook, they may not get it on Instagram, but definitely Twitter. Now you see Instagram. Instagram is similar to Facebook. You see that, but some people that feel like people that wants to live like other people that live luxury life that can have this high profile lifestyle, they prefer to spend more time on Instagram. You go to Instagram, you see
mm,
classy pictures, you see different kind of things. And now you can't just post anyhow picture on Instagram. Like what the kind of picture you post on Facebook is not the kind of picture you post on Instagram. You get. So
mm,
any app you can think about it, you need to understand why was this app built. That is the functionality. What problem is it solving? If an app is built and has a very good UI without solving the core problem, you get that app will not be relevant. You get. So we have another one. We have what is called information architecture. It's under UX. These are things that you need to consider when you are working with UX. Information architecture is just like the contents of your app or your website. Like if you open it, you see your home, about careers, the informations on the all the information of this each section on a screen. These are the information architecture. Just imagine that you open a website or an app and you see that the information architecture, the information on the sections are just like they are not flowing with you, like they are just scattered or disorganized. As soon as you just scroll through it, you see that the information architecture is not well arranged, you leave it, you just withdraw, and then the app just will just lose a user. So information architecture, you have to make sure that the information on your website, the information on the navigations, the information on each page of your website, the information on each section of your screen are okay. You get this will make me to say that in UI UX design generally, especially in UX, everything is done with intentionality, and you have to pay close attention to the tiniest detail because if a user sense any form of frustration, they just withdraw. That kind of thing, they just withdraw. So another thing you have to look into in UX is user flow and satisfaction. I always tell my students that a good user flow determines a good this thing interaction flow, a good screen interaction flow. What do I mean by that? A good user flow also increase or enhances a good it brings about and promotes a good user experience. User flow is like how users navigate on your app or your products. Like all the screens, the way the screens are arranged, the way the screens are connected to each other, that's user flow. After going through the onboarding process, they sign up. From the sign up, the next thing after you have gone through the onboarding section, the sign ups, they have done verification. The next thing is the home page, the home screen, or it can be the dashboard. Now, from the dashboard, anything they clicks on it, the next screen it should take you to that's user flow. That is the connection between two screens. If a user clicks on something, where it's taking you to that user flow, how the user finds their way around the app or the platform user flow. So
Can
you
we
have to
bring
consider.
can we bring an example of WhatsApp also? You know WhatsApp now, we have the chat, we have the status, you have
Exactly.
the groups or something. But apart from that, you can
Yeah,
also swipe.
exactly. Yeah,
That's a very good user flow also, right?
definitely. Now, that is a very, very, very good user flow. Now, if you look at WhatsApp now, you see that I think let me even check it. Let me just verify something now. Let me verify
Okay.
something. I'm on WhatsApp now. You see that WhatsApp. There was a time that WhatsApp had this thing updates and communities. I think
Yeah.
they had to do one place. They had it on one screen. There was a time they had it one screen, updates and
Another page
communities on one screen.
entirely.
Exactly. So now they had to separate it so that users can easily navigate and find their way through the app. And if you check now, if you look at the bottom part of WhatsApp, they changed the arrangement of their navigation tabs. The position of chat is not where it used to be. The position of updates is not where it used to be. So they have made everything easier. And for instance, now if you want right now on WhatsApp, if you want to schedule a call, before you
You
can
can
just
schedule a
click on
call.
that.
Now that is
Eh,
very surprising. I've
like
never tried that
seriously,
before. I'm surprised.
Ve- it's very very surprised and very very impressive. You get so all this boils down to a good UX user experience. That's why I always tell most UI UX designers, especially beginners that don't understand this, you need to most of them they just shy away, refrain from learning UX
Mm.
because they feel that it's boring. You get now because you're not actively doing any as in you're not actively designing, you're not
It's
actively
just
using
understanding. Yeah.
design exactly. It's more of research understanding. You have to draw this user flow is a diagram, so you have to draw the diagram and sketch connect one screen. It's like a rectangle, you
Yeah.
connect it to another. All the screens that they'll be on the app will be on that. You make, they call it small cards. So you draw this card, connect it to this, after this connect to that. So it's a very, very long process. It's a tedious process, but if you can get it right, you will not have any break why making the screens. You get that's why I say that a good user flow determines a good interaction flow. So that when you after making a good user flow, after making a user flow, you have to study it first before you start creating the UI. You get so everything you are creating the UI, everything you're doing on the UI is not new to you. It's something you're just following what you have done on user flow. Now, when you want about one good thing about user flow is that when you make the screen now, if you want to do the interaction flow, you want to connect, link them. That if you click on this should go here. Click on it. Once you have a user flow, you don't need to stretch yourself again, thinking of how to go about it. Just follow what's on user flow, connect this screen to that screen, connect screen to that screen. That's when you're preparing the MVP of the prototype of the app or the product.
Yeah.
So user flow
What's the
will
meaning
really
of
help you.
MVP?
It's
What's
a
the meaning of MVP?
minimum viable product. You get. So
Okay.
is the final product of a prototype. That is after it has
Okay.
gone through yes, after it
It's
has
still
gone
a
through
prototype.
test. Yes. It's still a prototype, but the final product, once after it has gone through testing and verification and everything has gone through all the process and it's now accepted, that is the MVP. So that is what you can use to probably show what's it called, investors or
Probably
stakeholders.
invested. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Something like that. That's the MVP. So another, that's like I say, user flow and user satisfaction. So everything, when you are doing your user flow, you need to put yourself in the position of a user. You're not just thinking about it. You're not building for yourself alone. You have to, I always tell my students that you have to understand that all users are not like you. You get. So you have to think. You don't just think. You know that you have to know that you're not building an app for UX designers alone.
Yeah.
So you
That's
are building an app. You have a target audience for your specific target audience. You know, okay, what will this person do? What will this person do? And most of the times, you can call few people, some people around to help you when you are crafting out your user flow to make it easier. So, and I wrote something here that you should think of UX as the skeleton and soul of a product. It ensures that everything works smoothly, logically, and meaningfully for the user. So the logic of UX design is in user flow. Most students don't like user flow. Like most UI, they always don't avoid it because of
it's
it's
like,
logical.
can you, is there a scenario that you have? Do you have a scenario? Because it's
Okay,
like the way you are talking, like, there's a, you've had experience of this, them running away from UX.
uh, okay. Let me try to get something so that let me see if I can present something right now. You get.
Okay.
I should have an example of a user flow here. I should have an example of a user flow. So I think I've gotten one. Let me just present it right now so that everyone can see it. So it is
Okay.
something very very simple. It's
And
something very
straightforward.
very yes, simple and straightforward. Exactly, something very simple and very straightforward. You get. So can you see my screen?
No, wait. Okay, I think I need to add your screen to this stage. Sorry, I'm coming.
All right.
Give me a moment. Yeah. Are you seeing it currently? Mr. Samuel. Have you seen it?
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
All right. So I think I've gotten an image of a user flow. So this is a very, very simple user flow. This is how a user flow looks like. So it's very,
Okay.
very simple because the cards are not just one line, one straight card, one straight user
This is
flow.
looking like, is it not the same thing as flow chart?
Exactly. User flow or flow charts. Exactly. So this one, I think, let me see. This is like the start when the user opens the app. You get this what
Okay.
the user sees first, welcome screen. That is your onboarding screen, whereby you can show like three slides that talks about the core functionality of the product. Then followed by either
Okay.
the user can choose to either sign up or log in. Now, if the user um, doesn't have an account, which is no, doesn't have an account, users will sign up. That is, the person will click on create an account and the sign up form will come out. But if the user has an account, that is yes, you get. So it will go down
Go
to this.
directly.
Yeah, to take the user, user have to log in and go straight to the home page. Now, after the user fills in the form and creates an account, you see account created. The next thing, what the user is meant will now be directed to the homepage. All this, although we're not fully in class here, but let me just mention some key things in case someone wants to learn online or when you start learning UI/UX design, you understand some certain things. All these cards that are here, they are screens. You get these rectangle cards. Why this one is like diamond shape is they are called decision points, where the user have to decide what to do, whether to move forward or go back. So from the home, you can see these ones can be like the navigation. You get is this a it's something very simple. The home page, you see browse restaurants, you can select a meal, you get. So you can add the meal to cart, you get. And if the user wants more item, if yes, um, let me see, So generally, it just so it's not something too complex. So you can see that all my screens are here. This one is select a meal. You get next one is add to cart. Now this add to cart here. If I want to add more items,
That connection is not that smooth.
a kind of
Okay. So Mr. Samuel is not here at the moment, but he's coming back. But if I'm to summarize what Mr. Samuel has actually been saying, it's saying that he actually said that before you can actually work on a product, you need to, the way I can actually understand and put it down is that you actually need to do a good research. Okay. Now, once you do a good research, you should not just move on as you are the UI UX. You already know how you are going to work on the UI. You should know why you are using a particular layout for a particular section in within probably you are working on the website or a particular application. So it's actually very important. Okay. Now, what it just showed is just an example of a UX whereby you need to understand which part in which the it's more like UX actually teaches is just how the users actually communicate with the system. Like when I click on login, where is it directing me to? If I do this, what's going to happen next? If I it's just like WhatsApp, okay. If I click on status, it's taking me to the status page. If I slide to the right, it's taking me back to the chat. So it's just the way it is. So UX is actually very important. So and you made mention of a lot of people have actually been, should I say, lazy about learning UX, which is actually very bad because I don't know, your products won't just go far because it means like if you don't want to learn UX, okay, Mr. Samuel is back currently. If you don't want to learn UX, your product might not be really good. So let me add Mr. Samuel back to the stage. Mr. Samuel, welcome back. Are you there?
sorry, I think I had a challenge with the connection. You get
Yeah, I told you. I was actually just summarizing
there's
what you
a
were
challenge with
saying.
the connection. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but your screen is not showing yet. We cannot see your face. Okay, yeah, yeah. Now we are clear.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I don't know at what point when the connection cut me off. You get. I was actually
It's all
explaining
good.
the user flow diagram. It's all good. So I'm going to just proceed with my presentation. You get. So that is
We
basically
actually told
UI,
the
what UX all about. So UX is very broad. I didn't get what you said.
No, I was saying I thought you wanted to put that out
Can
the
you hear me?
presentation again. You wanted to say we understand it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can hear you. I
All
can hear
right,
you.
all right, no problem.
Let's go.
All
Let's
right,
go.
all right, all right, no
You've
problem.
not listed our
Now, so
roadmap.
the next thing, yeah, you said I didn't get what you said.
No, you've not started listing the developers and the UIUX developer roadmaps. Have you started?
Okay. No, I've actually started. You have actually started. The first step is like okay, I'm going to list it,
We're
then
going to
I'll
be
explain them one by
summarizing.
one. You get the first step is
Okay.
to the first step is to understand the foundation of UI UX. You get
Yeah.
now the next step is actually to give me a minute. The next step is actually to learn the essential tool. You get you have to understand how to use the tools of a UI UX designer. The next step is actually to master the UI UX design process. That's the next step. So that is the third step. Now, the fourth step, develop real projects. That's the fourth step. Portfolio that stands out. Step is to learn how to collaborate with the developers. And then the seventh step is stay updated and remain
The connection is not that smooth. I guess Mr. Simon will be back. So I think we have to wait a while. So sorry for the break. The It's because of the connection. So mm, Nigeria. So Mr. Simon will be back soon. All right. I guess I should still move on with whatever I'm saying. So we've learned that UI user interface and UX user experience are both necessary knowledge and skill that a UI UX developer must have. Okay. And Mr. Samuel was explaining the UI UX roadmap. Okay. So he said number one, you need to understand the foundation. So the second one, I think is at the seventh step currently, but once it comes back, the connection is not that smooth. So when it comes back, you can just give an overview of the rest. But if there is any question within the from our viewers again, if there's any question from our viewers, please don't hesitate to just comment it out. If you have any question, just comment it out so that we can answer your question. So we'll be waiting for any questions if available. Alright, welcome back, Mr. Samuel. And the connection is on that side. So all our viewers, once again, if you have any questions, you can drop it down so that we can have some discussion about it. Also, my advice I'm actually going to give to UIUX developers, for anybody that is going to go into, that is going to learn any tech skill currently, and for the past people that already understand and that are already a UI/UX developer or that are already a mobile developer, everybody should try and learn prompt engineering. Okay, so prompt engineering actually teaches us on how to actually give prompts to our AI, okay, to actually get what we want. And what I mean by prompts is how you actually type in your messages. You want to tell AI to give you a picture, there is a way you say it. You don't just say, give me a picture. There's a way you're actually going to say, okay, and you must be well detailed, okay. So people usually over depend on AI because you guys think they can actually do everything, which is actually wrong because it is AI, the understanding of this artificial intelligence is that the more information you are giving them, the more accurate they become. That is the law. Okay. So if you are saying, okay, I want to create a flyer for my daddy, okay, and or probably for a person that is doing birthday, and you don't have any extra details, it's going to give you his own understanding of you creating a flyer. But once you start saying the color, the detail, how you want it to be, the picture should be at one side, then it start giving you what you want. Okay, so that is the law when it comes to artificial intelligence. Now, my advice to actually everybody that is learning a skill or that is a tech professional that is within this tech of a team is that learn to implement AI in your work. Okay, because it's AI at this current moment is more like, okay, I'm eating rice, I'm creating a website, I'm eating rice. Now I don't want to use AI, it's more like I don't want meat or I don't want egg in my food. I'm eating rice, but I don't want egg. That's just the way AI is at this point moment. You cannot deny it cannot be denied. And companies out there are looking for efficiency. Okay, if you can give us what we want within the less time, within a minimum amount of time, and it should be very accurate. Okay, so the reality is that AI is doing make mistake, but human being makes more mistakes than AI, and they work because of they have a very high mathematical they have a very high computational power. So they tend to do things very fast. So there is an aspect in within your work, either a mobile developer or a web developer or a UI UX designer or a cybersecurity. There's an aspect in within your work whereby you can actually implement AI that can improve the efficiency of your work. Okay. So it is advisable for you to just learn how to implement AI, but don't be over dependent on it. Okay, because there are some things that we actually meant to be doing by ourselves. Okay, it's just more like, okay, you tell AI to give you a code for a particular home page, and you are now seeing the home page, and you figure out that, okay, it is meant to be Techvast Global Academy, but you are seeing Techvast Global School, and that Techvast Global School now is inside, let me say, up to six, let me even say 10, let me even say 10 line and 10 parts in within just the homepage code that the AI gave you. Yeah, Techvast Global Academy is meant to be there, but you are seeing school instead of academy, and that school now is appearing 10 times. Okay, these are just little things that you can literally edit by yourself, whereby you can just copy and change everything at once within a minute. Rather than you now still copying that code, you are now giving it to AI again to now modify the school to academy. Alright. Now, based on, and these guys, they make a lot of conclusions. Okay. Most of the time, it's actually very perfect. But as time goes on, it starts switching. Why? Just like when the AI now change your school to academy, you might now notice another changes that it has made, and that might actually lead to any other thing. So the advice for us today is just that let's all just learn how to implement AI in our work. Okay. And for the UI/UX developer, for the road to beginners study for a UI/UX developer, the roadmap for a UI/UX developer, based on the way the connection is at this current moment, I think you guys should be able to understand what Mr. Samuel has talked about. So I will just collect it and then send it to the community group so everybody can actually see. He has literally explained all what is actually necessary. It's just for you to now move on based on his explanation. And if you have any question, of course, we can discuss it in the community group. Also, Mr. Samuel is a professional UI/UX developer and is working with Techvast Global with us also. So, in case anyone want to learn any tech skill, okay, so if you feel you might have an understanding with him more based on the way he's explaining, you can just message the Techvast Global main WhatsApp number and apply. We are starting our weekend class very soon. So this might actually be your chance also. Okay. And don't forget to follow Mr. Samuel. Samuel, okay. The full name might probably be same. Or just search for Sound Studio on YouTube. You should be able to see his videos there too. Also on TikTok. So that will be all for today, guys. Thank you so much. In the aspect of no question, I'm not sure if Mr. Sam is there. Mr. Sam, are you there? Alright, so with the aspect of no question, we'll be concluding the live stream today. So thanks a lot for watching and see you next time.